let's finish setting up the blinks. Firstly, we can go ahead and delete this eye control slider. We don't need that anymore. Now we can go in and create custom parameters that we'll use to control the blinks with. So selecting our GC Face Extras control, we'll press Alt-1 to head over to our parameter dialog. Then we can go ahead and start by creating a label. Okay, so we'll use string. We'll name this blinks. And for the default text, simply type in blink parameters. Choose add, and there it is. So now we can make the animatable parameters. Now what we want to do here is not use just one blink for each eye. We want to give the animator full control over the eyelids so they can get some really nice expressions from the face. So knowing that, we can go ahead and switch our parameter type back to float. For the first name, this is going to be for our left upper lid. For the width, we can go ahead and set that to 100. And for our initial min and max range, let's go ahead and use -100 and +100, and we can change that if we need to. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose add. The next is going to be for our left lower lid. Go ahead and add that, and then create two more for the right lids. So that's right upper lid. And we'll finish up with the lower lid. Okay, great. So again, we have values in our slice parameters for the eyelids. So we need to connect them in a way where we can still keep the 0 value for our controls, while at the same time keeping this initial state for the eyelids. Let's head over to the layer manager and unfreeze the character. So how are we going to do this? Well, we need to use simple math here. We need to, again, remember that we want to keep this at -14, but at the same time we're plugging this into a control with a value of 0. So to keep this at -14, we simply need to wire this into this control and add a -14 to our expression. So it's simple. It's as simple as saying -14 plus 0, which gives us that same value. So we'll do the same thing with the slice 2. That's simply going to be +30. So let's go ahead and plug all of this in so you can understand clearly what I'm talking about. With the left eyelid selected, I'll right click and choose wire parameters, head down to object, slice from, can use that first, and plug that into object, custom attributes, lower lid. Okay, so now, being that we selected the eyelid first and plugged that in to our control, okay, we could see that the slice is on the left side, the control on the right, so we'll need to use our middle arrow here. From there, we'll go ahead and add deg to rad, so we not only get the smooth movement, but also so that when we plug our value in, it won't multiply on us, which would happen if we hadn't used this degree to radian function. So it's going to be deg to rad, open and close parentheses around our left lower lid parameter, and then within the parentheses we'll simply put in -14. So now as we choose connect, notice we maintain that initial state of the eyelid. You can see the connection has been made. And if we were to go ahead and just minimize this, head over to our geometry control and start to move this left lower lid, there's the movement that we need. Alright, great. So again, it's just simple math we're doing. Let's say we go ahead and set up the others. So now we'll move on to the left upper lid. So that's going to be slice 2, left upper lid. Choose the middle arrow since we want to connect from our right to left. And then from there, it's going to be deg to rad. We concatenate the left upper lid and the expression, and then it's just a matter of putting in plus 30. Choose connect, and there we have it. So as we check this out, everything's moving just fine. All right, let's go ahead and set up that right lid now. So all we need to do is select the geometry here and load that up. Just refresh. It's going to be object, and here we have it, slice to, slice from. So we'll choose the right upper lid, and that goes into slice to. Choose the middle arrow, deg to rad, parentheses, and within, this is going to be plus 30. Doing the lower lid now, again, that goes to slice from. Choose the middle arrow. We'll type in our degree to radian function, put our parentheses, and then within that's going to be negative 14. Choose connect, and there we have it. All right, so we have our blink set up. Now, if you wanted to from here, you can go ahead and set min and max values for your parameters. So let's go ahead and look at this. Starting with the left upper lid, bringing this up, we'd want to bring that up to about 30, I'd say 32. Okay, that's about where it goes to a point where it's almost about to go inside of the character's head. So I think that it would be a good max. A good minimum value for this control, I'd say it would be about, let's say negative 22. So our max again is 32 and our minimum is negative 22. All right. And from there, we can also determine what we'd like to use for our lower lid. That's going to be 21. And let's say about negative 16 here. All right, so keeping those values in mind, we can go ahead and give them min and max values now. So we'll head over to our parameter editor, pressing Alt-1, and here's how we can edit our parameters. Okay, right next to add. Again, for the left upper lid, we chose a minimum of negative 22 and a maximum of 32. So from here, we just want to choose Apply Changes. If we don't do that, the changes will not be applied. Okay, for the lower lid, we chose 21 for the max and the minimum negative 16. Again, we apply changes. We can go ahead and test this out now. And there we have it. Okay, it almost seems like the eye doesn't close totally, so we could always increase the value of our lower lid. Let's say we go ahead and do that. Bring this back over, and let's say we use 22 instead of 21. So I'll go ahead and put that in, 22, and choose Apply Changes. So we can really have that eye close. If we go too far with this, of course, this is going to flip out the way this is all set up, but we've chosen good values where that won't happen. All right, so keeping that in mind, we can go ahead and take care of the right side. So again, it's a matter of choosing the parameter. For the upper lid, the negative was negative 22. The max was positive 32. Apply changes. Lower lid was negative 22, or excuse me, positive 22 was the max, and the minimum was negative 16. So go ahead and apply changes there, and go ahead and test this out. I'll just move this over, bring that all the way down, bring the lower lid up. There we have it, the eye's closed, and there's our max. Alrighty. So that finishes up our eyelid controls then. Alright, so we learned how to work with our wire parameters and wire in a way where we can keep a zero value while at the same time keeping an initial state of an object that did have values. So that finishes our lesson here. In the next lesson, we're ready to set up our eye controls.